Welcome back to our West Coast Conference women's basketball tip-off interviews. I'm now joined by Portland head coach Jim Sollars and Jasmine Wooton. Welcome.
Thank you.
You guys excited, ready to get the season underway?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the players are really excited about playing somebody instead of beating on each other.
Is that true? Is it hard to be out there every day just playing one-on-one against your teammates?
We're learning each other so well, so I'm ready to have some honest defense.
Coach, tell me a little bit about your program and your team this year. What are you guys going to look like?
Well, you know, we have a lot more experience than we did last year. We're older, which doesn't always make you better, but we hope we're going to be better as well. But we had no seniors on the squad last year, and this year we'll have 2 seniors, a big group of juniors, including some redshirts who had been hurt at one time or another, and a good group of young kids that have joined the program the last couple of years. So we think we have excellent depth. We're assuming we do anyway.
Jasmine, how important is that chemistry? You do have 11 players returning from last year. How important is that just to your overall team chemistry?
I think it's very important. It helps us a lot on and off the court to just not take things so personally and help each other up all the time, you know. It's just easier when you're playing with your friends than it is with some people that you just met or you're not as comfortable with, so.
And what are the strengths of this team going to be this year? Offensively, defensively, where do you see the strengths of your team?
You know, I think the guards will be our strength to a large degree. I think we'll shoot the ball better than we have in the past. The post, we have 4 good-sized kids, and one of those is going to, or 2 of those will have to step up, and we need a little bit better scoring from them. But if we get that, I think we could be pretty competitive with anyone.
And not a lot of seniors this year still. None last year, as you said, but only 2 this year. So as a junior, you're kind of one of the older players on the team. Do you like that role of being kind of in a leadership role?
Yeah, it has its, it has its ups and downs, but I feel like, like you were saying, the chemistry is it's very helpful with the trust. So I feel more confident in my role.
Tell me a little bit about this player sitting next to you, Jasmine Wooton. What's it like to have her on your team?
Well, you know, she's one of the first real leaders that we've had from the very beginning. She stepped into a role of not playing all the time as a freshman or a sophomore, but she started most of the time as a sophomore. But she just, give credit to her parents and her throughout the years. It wasn't something we taught her. She just intuitively has a good sense of leadership. She encourages her teammates, and I think the best thing I can say about her is I haven't had a player probably in 15 years that shows up every day the way she does to get better. And every day I know she's going to be there to get better and make progress, and that's so important in the whole process. And it's so rare, frankly.
And tell me about playing for your coach. He's coming into his 28th season at Portland. What's it like to play for him?
It's great. It's great having somebody that you can talk to and not just feel like you're just a player, and that you can connect with them on different levels, And I feel like it transfers onto the court. It's easy I can trust him. Everything that he tells me, I can trust him. So it's really nice to play for somebody like that.
Last year, your offense was kind of middle of the road in the West Coast Conference. Do you see an improvement there this year?
Well, I think maturity will help us. Last year, I think we played, I counted it up at one point in time, I think we played 21 games that were decided in the last minute and a half to 2 minutes. And we didn't win the majority of those games. We won some of them, not as many as we'd like. And I think maturity, understanding each other, age sometimes helps. I think all of that looks good for the future. I'm assuming we're going to win a majority of the games that we play in those tight moments.
And yeah, having those tight games, even if you don't come out on the winning end of them, what does that do just for your experience level and really knowing how to navigate your way through a game like that, a close game like that?
Well, we always talk about we either win or learn. So it's definitely on, those tough games that you do lose. You just have to really take away the learning experience from it and learn what you can change for the next time around. And I feel like we've had a lot of learning. So this season we should be able to implement what we've learned.
Do you feel like last season laid a very good foundation for this year to improve upon?
Definitely. And now that we have the same team returning, basically, and the new girls that came in, they're great and they fit right in. So I feel like it should be a lot better for us this year.
And in the West Coast Conference, it's such a strong basketball conference. What are the challenges that you foresee this year, and what are the teams that you're really looking out for this year and you really are looking forward to going up against, Coach?
Well, I think Obviously, Gonzaga is going to be one of the better teams. I think Kelly feels he has one of the best teams ever, and they're certainly going to be one of the biggest teams ever in the conference. BYU is a solid team with a big center that always creates problems for you. St. Mary's has most of their players returning. San Diego has most of theirs returning. So I think the whole conference is going to be very good, I think. As I thought it was last year, to be honest with you, I was shocked we didn't get more than one team in the NCAA tournament. I think St. Mary's losing to Pepperdine probably late in the season prevented them from going, and they deserved last year to go.
And you said you have some players returning this year, including redshirt junior Cassandra Brown, who's coming off an injury. Tell me a little bit about her and what she's going to bring to the team this year.
Well, she's a tall, thin wing player. She's probably our tallest player. I'm not sure. She's over 6'2", and shoots the ball very, very well. She had, we have a little 5-minute shooting drill where they shoot from the baseline, the wing, top the key, wing baseline. And in 5 minutes, she had well over 100 shots in that period of time. She's just an excellent shooter. Not the quickest thing that ever moved, but she has learned to be more aggressive around the basket, and so I think it's going to be a big help. Clearly one of the best three-point shooters in our conference.
West Coast Conference added a team this year, University of the Pacific, so it's a 10-team conference now. Jasmine, what do you know about this team, and what do you think they're going to add just having that 10th team in the conference?
I don't know much about the team, but I think they're going to put a lot of pressure on a lot of different teams just because, you know, we go and play Gonzaga. We kind of know their offenses because we've played against them a lot of times, but Pacific is going to be a just completely different ball game for a lot of teams, so it's going to put some pressure on some teams.
And how do you prepare your team for that, where you have a team that you're going to face twice every year? It's a new team into the conference. How do you get your team ready for that?
Well, you know, anymore we have such great scouting, and we have so many services that we apply to. We see people play on film. We can't go in person, but we see them numerous times. Everyone sees each other, and so it's a matter of preparing and doing the best you can to neutralize what they do well, and hopefully you can bring your A game with it. And they're going to be very good. They were regular season Big West Conference champions last year, and we expect, I know they lost one of their key players to an automobile accident this summer, but I think they'll be very competitive. And we've played them a number of times in the past, just not in the last 2 or 3 years.
And Jasmine, last question for you. Last year made it to the second round of the West Coast Conference tournament to play St. Mary's. What did just that whole experience do you think did for your team, especially since you have so many players coming back who went through that with you? What do you think that did for your team last year?
I think that feeling when the buzzer went off that we're not continuing, I feel like that's a taste in our mouths that I personally hope stays there for a while, so that we just remember like what we're fighting for, and I never want to feel that again. So it's a good experience, but hopefully going farther this year.
All right, great. Well, best of luck this season. Coach Jasmine, thank you so much for joining me, and we'll be back shortly with more interviews from the West Coast Conference basketball tip-off.